Jennifer Myka. I am living in northern Kentucky, Crittenden, Kentucky, and I have Free Radical Ranch. And you can check me out on freeradicalranch.com. And I quilt. I started quilting actually on my 40th birthday. It was kind of one of those things. It worked out that way. Didn't know fabric was my medium, but it turns out it totally is. I've been doing different kinds of things, but I really enjoy doing free motion quilting and art quilting and just things that just work for me. I also have animals on my farm, so I have horses and alpacas and sheep, and I have a basset hound, so those topics tend to come up. I tend to use brighter colors and those sorts of things. With the alpacas, I'm moving towards using natural fiber in my art quilts, things like horses' manes and the alpacas themselves, that kind of thing. So I'm working towards that and learning how to spin on top of it. But most recently what I worked on was a challenge for the Quilt Artists of Kentucky. I'm a member of that group down in Kentucky, Quilt Artists of Kentucky. And each year they have a challenge for a show that's shown in Berea at the Berea Arts Council, and it's called Quilts with a Kick. And this year's challenge was quilts inspired by aprons. And this completely stumped me at the beginning because I don't even use an apron. I'm not really a domestic kind of person to where I would think about using an apron. So this was it stumped me for a while until my mother mailed me an apron that she had made my baby sister when my baby sister was in middle school. And it was in bright colors. It had turquoise with stars in some of the fabric, and it had black fabric that had multicolored little suns and stars in it. So the first thought was space. Worked out pretty well. And then I was, well, what am I going to do about that? That's not very exciting. And the more I looked at it, it had straps that came down, and they were curved at the bottom where the pockets were. And I realized it looked just like basset hound ears to me, which, since I have a basset, I guess I think about it. So space dogs. And so I worked on that quilt like crazy, and I just turned it in the other day at the Quilt Artists of Kentucky. It's at the Berea Arts Council, and that show is up from July 5th through, I guess, sometime in August this year, down in Berea, Kentucky. And the final name of the quilt was Space Dogs, and then there's a colon, and it's Betsy Boo and the Roar God, and it has some symbolism in there. And there are definitely different versions of dogs on there. There's planets and dogs, and there's a big space dog flying across the top in a spacesuit. And there's a planet up there, and then there's some beautiful gardenias and flowers on the ground earth that the other dogs are sitting on, not flying with. So anyways, that's kind of one aspect of it. And you can go to freeradicalranch.com if you want to see pictures, and I'll have some details of some of the parts of the quilt as I was working on it. Some of the items in there seemed really straightforward until I tried to do it, and then it was a little tricky, but it all came together in the end, and that was my latest project. Thanks.